How's everybody doing? Good, great. So my name's David Beiner. I'm the head of customer experience at Tutonic. This is our wonderful designer, Jami, Ambler, who's here tonight. I just want to thank Jason, everybody at Brooklyn Tech Meetup for having us, Brooklyn Law School, and to everybody who made it out here tonight, weathered the monsoon. We have a story that we want to share with you, and we really hope that you can take some of the main points we make and use them in your own networks, at your own startup, in your own endeavors to help with whatever you're doing. So let me tell you all a little bit more about Tutonic. Tutonic's a community marketplace for tutors and students. And our aim is to make tutoring more accessible and more transparent. And lastly, more affordable. So there's lots of ways you can find a tutor. You can go on to some of our competitors, Wyzan or Tutorspree, and you can even go to Craigslist and just look for somebody who is saying that they're a tutor. But when you use Tutonic, you're going to a website and you're using a service that's trying to make a positive impact on our education. So we're doing this in a couple ways. First, we charge the lowest commission fee of any other site. We charge just 5%, while many of our competitors, larger agencies, charge 20 to 60%. And second to that, we're offering tutors in a variety of subjects, not just academic subjects, but also subjects like ballet, cooking, Adobe Creative Suite, so that people can get a reinvigorated passion about learning. And we hope that this passion about learning can be taken back in our society and our schools. So we released our beta version in December to all tutors and parents. We spent from October to December really trying to collect more tutors. And we've had two really big insights and stories that we've learned. The first of those is to always keep an eye on the big picture. And the second is the quicker you can shed your assumptions, the quicker you'll find success. So this is our current homepage. And going back to the bigger picture idea, we thought that the big picture for us was tutors. If we can get as many tutors for us, if we can get tutors to love our product, love our service, and love us, they'll basically be our biggest supporters, and they'll be transferring the students that they already have onto Tutonic. Well, we definitely found out in January that wasn't exactly going to be the case, unfortunately for us. And to be honest, we thought that from our low commission structure, and we thought that because we were letting them choose their own rate and have so much power over their information, it would be a no-brainer. And while it was a no-brainer in terms of many of them signing up, they didn't necessarily bring their students. So we took a step back and we realized, okay, what's going on here? And we realized we needed to go out and engage with parents and students, which is we really started doing in January and early February. So I think a story that really conveys a lot of what propelled us towards our redesign was I met a lovely parent named Renee. And I sat down with Renee. We were starting to meet really sit down with our first group of parents and students. And Renee's going through the site, and the first thing she talked to me about was this is our homepage, and this carousel, we have tutor on your time, and we had other images that were really specific towards tutors. And she flat out said, she was like, well, there's really nothing here that's talking to me as a parent. And, besides this thing on the bottom that mentions students, there's not much talking to me if I were a student either. In addition to that, I'm sitting there and she's starting to go through the site, and I'm realizing she hasn't searched yet, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, use the site, search. Meanwhile, for the past couple of weeks, I've been scratching my head that only 32% of people who came to Tutonic were actually conducting a search. So, long story short, I go back to the team, I relay this information. Search needs to be more straightforward, and we need to do more to convey that you can come to Tutonic, you can get a tutor, why you should do that, and really approach it from the big picture as a parent. So, right now, this is a current redesign we're working towards. In this process, we shed our assumptions. From the top, there's a search bar that tells you to type in a subject and a zip code so you can quickly find a tutor. And from the get-go, we have tutors on the site. And we have, based on feedback that we went out and sought, relevant information that parents told us they wanted to know when finding a tutor. And below that, just like Renee and many other parents we talked to suggested, right on the homepage, why you should use Tutonic. Low costs, coming from low commissions, were easy to use, and a big thing, which we thought we had accounted for, but didn't do enough of, and are trying more and more to think about in every step of the process, is trust and verification in booking a tutor online. In addition to that trust and verification topic, when you keep going through the new homepage, you see relevant press posts and our blog and Twitter feed. So I'll go to, I know Jami's favorite part is what she likes to call our new tutor playing cards. And the challenge for us here was, how do we take the feedback and get as much relevant information and put it here in such a small space? So we have the hourly rates now, we have About Me, and you'll see in the middle blue box, when you click Learn More, now there's Experience in a bottom section that says Trust. So another assumption we had made was, in About Me, tutors would just write their relevant tutor experience. Well, by putting Experience now, when you put Learn More, we're going to get more information about exactly what a tutor's prior experience was, and a parent can see that straight from the get-go. And then below, with social connections, people will be able to see connections they have with a tutor, message one of those connections, and feel more comfortable and trust, and a larger feeling of trust when they're booking that transaction. So those were the big two things we learned. Those are the two things that have guided us through our new process, and we hope will continue to guide us as a company. And as a company that is always trying to learn, from the Tutonic team here tonight, I'm myself, Jami, Josh, our founder, and our lovely intern, Harrison. If you guys have your story to tell, things that you've learned, please talk to us tonight. We'd love to hear it. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.
Is it limited to in-person tutoring, or do you use some kind of Skype or FaceTime tech?
Most of the tutoring sessions are in person. When you're choosing your location, you can choose Skype as a location. So we're not limiting ourselves to in-person tutoring, but we don't have a built-in way yet for you to meet with someone on Tutonic. You'd have to do it through Skype. But you could pay, schedule, do all that right through our platform.
I'm curious if you've thought about introducing something that tells you the supply and demand for certain subjects, because I noticed that you had Adobe Illustrator. I think that was a picture of you on there for Adobe Illustrator, and I imagine that there are going to be a lot of people tutoring for Adobe Illustrator and just a handful of students, whereas there are probably going to be a lot of students looking for physics, chemistry, and fewer tutors. Yeah. So would that be represented in the site in the future?
Let me try and answer your question. If I don't answer it fully, please let me know. So the majority of the tutors on the site are math and English. And back to the question you asked about data, the largest demand for tutoring is in math subjects and test prep. So we absolutely cover those areas. In addition to that, we offer these other services. So I don't know if did that answer your question? Or? No?
So I was thinking about from the standpoint of recruiting tutors, and I'm not sure how you would bring that in. I'm just curious if this is something that you had thought about presenting to people who are signing up as a tutor.
Right now, our tutor sign-up is actually pretty organic. We don't really like to do much marketing for tutors to sign up. We only really launched for tutors for 2 months. We have over 500 tutors. Especially in the New York area, if you need a tutor in every single subject, we have 4 tutors in Ambler. So as far as meeting a demand for what a student is looking for when they come to the site, right now, it's there. So if that answers your question.
Absolutely.
So do you have a way to rate a tutor. So if I were using his service, would I be able to give him a review? And what effect would that have on him if it were negative or positive review?
So after your session with a tutor, we prompt you to give that tutor a review. The more reviews you have, especially if the more positive reviews you have, the higher you'll come up in our search results. In addition to that, we are playing with the idea of having what's called a Tutonic review or Tutonic verified. This is someone that we've personally interviewed, we've personally taken the time to see their resume, and really checked every single thing we can possibly check about them to not just have someone on our site who you can find and possibly feel comfortable with, but someone you know Tutonic trusts and verifies.
And going back to what David said were the two main points, making assumptions. Our first round, we did our reviews, but a problem that we have talked to our tutors about that we've seen is just because you have reviews doesn't mean you can get reviews. So you kind of need a review to get someone to book you, but you need someone to book you and have a review. So, yeah, so within the redesign, what we're also incorporating is an endorsement section where you can personally send out emails to people through Tutonic asking for an endorsement, contacting their Facebook friends saying, hey, like, can you just say that I'm a legitimate person, that I've interviewed before? Yeah, LinkedIn asks to kind of get you started, because if you're a tutor, especially if you have your own tutoring LLC, you're an established tutor in your city area, and you sign up with Tutonic, you're kind of starting from scratch. We kind of want to avoid that. We want you to come on the site and show your experience and be able to showcase yourself and your tutoring company and really get all the business that you can out of our company. So we're also doing endorsements as well.
I guess based on the review idea, have you considered Tutonic itself as like the initial reviewer? If you go through an endorsement process, do your users know that these are pre-approved tutors? And could that be that next step into tutors actually booking students?
Just to clarify, so you're asking if us as Tutonic would verify us as another verification method?
Well, as I understand it, you're already, soliciting resumes from these people and doing some type of check into their legitimacy. But I don't know that I saw that that's apparent from some of the initial. Maybe I'm
Yeah, I think
misunderstanding.
maybe I miscommunicated. There's two ideas we're promoting in our next version of the site. One of those is endorsements, where you can invite people you've had previous tutoring sessions, maybe not in Tutonic, to endorse you. And the other one is in your reviews section, there would be a Tutonic review, which is basically saying Tutonic has seen this person's resume, we interviewed this person personally, and it would be a personal review to this person, but it wouldn't be done by someone that endorsed them or someone they had a session with, it'd be done by Tutonic.
And right now, anyone can sign up for Tutonic. It's not submit your resume to us and we accept you as a tutor and then you're on the site. You can sign up to be a tutor, anyone can sign up to be a tutor. The thing is now, as a student, I can differentiate who is a legitimate tutor versus who is not, and I can choose who I work for. So if I have a tutor that isn't connected to LinkedIn and doesn't have any reviews versus someone who has 10 social connections, has a video I can watch about them, has a Facebook, has a LinkedIn, and all these other methods of trust and verification, I'm more likely to book them. Tutonic endorsing them is an extra step after they've already signed up to the site, and maybe they come to one of our events and we need them, and we just want to give them that extra push that they need to help our themselves.
Hey, I'm just kind of interested in the tutor marketplace. If it's just like the size, kind of the nature of the tutors, just not too much obviously, but just how organized it is, and are most of them functioning LLCs, professionals, or is it more people who are doing it in their off hours or?
So I don't know this data off the top of my head. I've had plenty of discussions with Josh about it. There are the majority of professional tutors in the U.S. are actually really, really small LLCs. Some of them 1 to 2 person LLCs. In New York City, there's a large tutoring marketplace in other urban areas where most tutors are going through a tutor broker, which are larger tutoring agencies, which, as I 20 to 60%, and then connect you with a student who comes. That is how and then most of the tutoring industry is especially driven by word of mouth. You're not going through one of these brokers. I think, those are the three big players, if you will, in the tutoring industry.
And I know right now the tutoring industry makes more money than real estate. The problem is people get paid under the table or it's word of mouth. It's not really something that's been tackled yet and tackled successfully. We do have competitors that have been starting to do this. A lot of them are subscription based, where you pay monthly, but there's a problem with that because if you're a tutor and you pay $20 a month and you don't get any sessions, you're paying this company to not get any business. So what we're really trying to do is tackle this problem of having an open marketplace and not someone that chooses who tutors you and doesn't dictate who's going to be the person that is going to be meeting you by week. You can choose them based on school because you like the picture. You really have the preference in who is coming into your house, and it's your choice, which tutor brokers don't do. And small LLCs basically don't have a way of marketing themselves. So we want to be the platform to help those LLCs market themselves, and we think by taking such a small commission, those LLCs will want to partner with us and want to come on our site because we're not limiting them really in any way, and we're giving them all this marketing